showed me.
Hello, good evening, all. Good evening, all. How many people are here? Should I use? I want to say this when we have a full house. Now, every company has its own refund policy. Could I say it to you guys? Good evening, all. And welcome to this meeting so that you get it clearly. Now, when we receive money from another person, and the person is telling us to refund money to another person, we alert EFCC immediately. Now, when we ask you to provide an identity of the person you are telling us to refund money to, and you cannot provide a straight identity of the person, we are suspecting what you are transferring. You want to use us to launder fraudulent money. So when we are doing our investigation, we are very careful the kind of people we deal with. So I don't know if Mr. Abdurrahman is here. I don't know what he's posting on the platform, so I can call it straight. We did not receive money from you. Somebody else paid for you from UK. And when we are refunding money, we called the person, should we refund your money? He said, no, we should hold it. You were attending our lectures, and all of a sudden you said we should refund your money. And you are not the one who paid us. We called the lady, said we should refund money to you. Provide a form of identity. You sent some stupid form of NIN to us that doesn't carry a NIN ID. It triggered suspicion. So we are talking to the EFCC. And if we ever have to give you people money, we will send the money to EFCC. EFCC will be the one giving you the money, not us. You understand? And the fact that we come here to do training, I think we all should respect our boundaries. I think I will share an email of a service we subscribed for the past 3 months. We could not use it. They are here to refund our money. Now, the fact that we are Nigerians and we're running a foreign platform, not any riffraff can just come here and actually start misbehaving. I don't think the guy is here because he's a fraudster just trying to actually use this platform to launder money. From the 4th day the girl called, I've been suspicious of them, saying he wants to use the money as his birthday gift. Different type of stuff started happening on the platform. So please, every platform, every company has due diligence. When we receive your money and we ask you for an identity and you provide something that is not an identity, you trigger suspicion. So I wonder why you are actually all of a sudden you are more concerned about the money than the training. And we are the one who called you and told you, should we refund your money back to you? We are refunding money. So please, we will from before Friday, we'll upload our terms and conditions so that it will be clearly stated from the website point of view. We don't want to be part of any crime, and we don't want to be part of syndicates who transfer money from one country to the other. We don't know how that money came in, but from the way the girl was sounding the first day she was transferring the money, I started noticing that there's something fishy somewhere. So I think we move on to the training. I need to call it out immediately so that the other people will not start thinking of something else. We approached everybody when we were refunding money. Do you want us to refund your money? You said we should hold on to it, that the new date is. You started attending that train. All of a sudden, you said we should refund your money. No, we have a refund policy. You have to pass through a refund policy. You're not just talking to some talk. And the annoying part, you now mentioned police. Who do you mean police to me? I will send you the chief of staff's number in IG's office. You go and route the petition through there. Those are the people who send your money to. So that you go and collect the money there from them. When you meet people with integrity, when you meet people with character, this training is being done in UK. If you have money, why don't you pay for the training in UK? Why are you paying for the one in Nigeria? It has a UK price. So please, welcome all. It's an issue with Mr. Abdurrahman. I can't remember his name. Akiyode. He paid for it. Somebody paid for him from UK. When we were refunding money, we called the lady, should we refund your money back to you? She said she wants to get back to our so-called, I don't know what they call themselves, partner or fiancé. Okay. After a while, she called back, said it's okay. The new date is okay. The guy started attending training. All of a sudden, he said we should refund this money. I said we have a refund policy. You can't just bap into this new training and tell us to refund your money. Sign a refund money. Okay, we'll refund you at so and so time. Okay, we're ready to refund. Send us an identity of the person you say want to refund to. You say, why are we asking for identity? Why won't we ask for identity? Is it the one who actually paid us money? He sent a NIN registration identity without a NIN. He sent a NIN. Okay, I said, can you send a real identity? We send the identity to, they said this thing does not work. Okay, let's have a video recording with you, with your face on the video so that we can know it's you that we're talking to. It became an issue. So we meet a lot of people in this registration process. Outrightly, to be frank, we meet 419. We meet Yahoo boys who actually want to gain more knowledge and actually continue their nefarious activity. So we are very careful in doing our background check when it comes to documentation. We forward it to the necessary people to actually verify. I can share that particular NIN identity. You will see that this NIN identity has been tampered with. That's why we forwarded it to the right agency to actually, because we don't want, at the end, I've seen cases where money moves through different accounts. All those accounts are frozen when they finally get to know what the particular source of the money is coming from. The money has passed through our company account. And if we are not very, how will I put it? If we are not confident about where the money is coming from, the best thing we should do is to do our own due diligence check and blacklist the money and send it to EFCC. And that's the process we are doing. But you just let the cat out of the bag. Everybody here has an ID. If you are instructing me to pay somebody money, provide this ID so that I can know that this is the ID of the person you are paying. So that is just the issue on ground, and I've cleared the air. I think we need to move on to today's training. So today we'll be looking at, we'll be continuing with the tools. We are looking at. We meet a lot of people. We are still on a case where somebody went to do something. All the accounts that money passed through, they were frozen. We don't know this lady. She just called us from UK saying she wants to do a birthday present to her boyfriend. Ever since today she called, my WhatsApp keeps wiping off. It will wipe off after some time. I pray it doesn't do that. So I started catching out, what's all this? Recently, I had to format the whole phone. I really do not, I don't know if it's a virus, but I didn't want to tie those activities to them. Okay, that's fine. We're having a payment platform issue. Lady, please, can we refund your money? They said, oh, let's contact my boyfriend. After 2 or 3 days, she got back to us. It's okay. June is okay. The guy started taking training, just started coming up with different stories. I keep seeing him in training. I just keep quiet so that I'll be able to actually follow. So we don't want to be a platform that actually traffic all kinds sorts of money. I've been outside the country. I know what some people do outside the country. So when you pay money to our account and we are not very confident, where it actually triggered a red flag was send us the ID of the person you want us to pay so that we can have a documentation. It took a while. It took an argument for you to release an ID card. And you sent an ID. You sent a NIN card that doesn't pass through the process of NIN. So we started suspecting, why are you hiding this boy's identity if it's supposed to be your fiancé and your partner? So a lot of people call us. So unfortunately, we are located in the island where you meet a lot of fraudsters. So they call. Some of them are looking for opportunity to get more knowledge to continue their nefarious activity. We do a thorough background check and squeaky clean check on who we train, who we give information to, and immediately we are not sure of your character. We are the one who will escalate you immediately. There's nowhere we don't have those contacts to do that. We work with a lot of people. So we also respect our boundary. Think Cyber is here to provide training. We have our terms and conditions, and we're here to protect everybody's interest. But when we notice people have issues and their transaction is a little bit shady, we are the one that will escalate you immediately. We've put in, I don't know how much you are paying. We spent over 40 million advertising. I'm sure there's somebody here who is somehow related to the first, how will I put it, first marketing consultant we consulted way back in in November. I'm sure she'll have a little details of the contract sum. So we are not building for now. We are building for a long time. We know where we are coming from and we know where we're going to. And we don't want anybody to come and tarnish our image. I have a Zenith Bank account that is frozen with money in it till today. All because somebody paid in some money. And when they were freezing all their account, they froze all the account. I'm going to be able to disclose what that money said is a ransom money. some part of the ransom money they were tracking. So there's a lot happening in terms of the cyber. So when we see issues like this, we are regulated. We make ourselves squeaky clean, and we don't want to actually go dirty. That's why I'm actually saying it to the public. So there's no issue with that guy. It's because he doesn't have a clean identity, and we are suspicious of the transaction. End of story. So we are moving on to training, and what was supposed to be taking sniffing and spoofing tools. We are looking at tools in Kali Linux, because our foreign partners have zero tolerance for what? For fraud. They have zero tolerance for fraud, so we don't do it here. Sorry, let me bring up this. Okay, this is so. All right, so we'll be looking first at what? Wireshark. So our advice, let me share my screen. So you go here. I don't want us to use the one on the Kali Linux. So go to your Google, download Wireshark. Let me do it from Google. Download Wireshark. Wireshark download. So you can download and install depending on your system. So it will take some time. I have mine already up and running. So these are sniffing tools that you need to be exposed to. So you can download them, you see how we use it to actually track packets.
Gosh, which one are we downloading? Is it 32 bytes or
no?
64?
What is your now? Before you download anyone, come here, come to control panel, so that you know your system. Your system should be 64 bytes. So go to systems and security. Okay, now come on systems. So you see, are you seeing it? System type 64-bit operating system. So let me repeat the process one more time. So you come to control panel. For control panel, you click on systems and security. Then you now click on system. It will show you everything concerning your system. So mine is 64 bytes. I guess yours too should be 64 bytes. If you are using a Core i5, a Core i, this is Core i7. I'm using Core i7. I think I should just say this here. Now, even when we refunded the loans, the bank actually charged some charges that we did not even know, because I think Mr. Solomon was calling me and telling me they were saying we should fund the Sterling account. So at a point in time, it became an issue. When they now explained it clearly, I think Mr. Ilori, if Mr. Ilori is here, we had to ask his account. We funded the what? How will I put it? The profit, I don't know, the charges you're supposed to pay for taking the loan. So before we come out, I've worked at different, okay, good. Thank God is here. So the other person we did not get clearly is Mr. Solomon. So we had to tell him, okay, whatever it is, actually it should pay less that. So we don't want dent on our brand. That is why we are very careful. And one of the reasons why we pulled out of that loan structure is because of them debiting you when you have not started training. Like everybody's taking training now. Have they debited anybody? So when a particular solution is not good for our own clients, we actually kick against it. So this is the mailing. I just sent them a mail. So this is the mail from the lady. And this is the ID she sent. So I'll show it to everybody here. Now this ID is not a name. It doesn't have any name. Okay, this is the other one. This is the one we had to force her to send a name. We send this out. The first thing she sent did not have a name. Now this is the first thing she sent to us as an ID. I had to call her that this is not an ID. This is just a name. It took her sometimes argument for up to 30 to 1 hour before she sent the other one. So now if we received money from somebody else and you are telling us to pay somebody else and we don't have a proper identification, how do we proceed to pay the person? I think we have people working in the bank here. So we don't know where people come from and we don't know who sent them, because in the cyber world, you have attacks. People can send people to actually come and actually infiltrate your system and actually look for loopholes to actually dent your image. So if we're going to pay somebody and it took 1 hour for you to release the identity of the person we're paying, then there's a problem. That's actually why we forwarded the identification to EFCC to look at it very, very well. So it's as simple and straightforward. So please, we are downloading. We meet a lot of people. There are some things I can't say here. We meet a lot of people who either are psychos, who either are crazy, have real tout 419, looking for more knowledge to add to. So we meet a lot of people in the recruitment process. So this is just one of the not case that we meet with.
Second, what did you say we are downloading? I don't know.
Wireshark. That's it. Wireshark. So if you are using a system, you want to know the type of system you use, you come here and type control panel. You come to systems and security, you click on systems. And this is 64-bit. So that's for mine. This is system type. So I'm sure you're using 64-bit too. So if you are downloading Wireshark, you should download this 64-bit. So for those using Mac, you can see the kind of Mac you download. It's only Mr. Yusuf Abdurrahman that is using Mac. So you can see the type of Mac you download. So when you've downloaded it, let me pause this. Let me stop it. So if you have downloaded it, please let me know so that we can practice it together. I can bring this down. Quit without saving. Yeah, download the one for 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. Mr. Solomon, are you trying to ask a question? The first one, Windows installer 64-bit. What kind of laptop are you using? What kind of laptop are you using? What's your laptop spec? So it's Windows installer 64 gig. So you should be using Windows installer 64 gig. 64 bit, sorry, it's 64 bit. Please, I just need to state this here so that it might not. Now, you should be able to actually understand the kind of laptop you are using. Windows 10 is an OS. It is not a laptop type. Now, I use Core i5. I will do it again so that you can have it clearly. These little things are what people look at. Now, when you do control panel, come to systems and security, go to your system. It will show you everything about your what. So I am using, this is your laptop type. My laptop is what? Core i5, Core i7. Are you seeing it? It has a what? Dual processor. The installed RAM is what? 16 gig. So it's a what? 16-bit x64 base processor. It has touch. So the OS, Microsoft operating system on it is what? Windows 10 Pro. So Mr. Solomon, please follow suit. You should be able to explain it this way. We don't know where the questions might come from. So if you want to navigate to where you can get details about your system, you just simply come through control panel. From control panel, it's Core i5. So it's Core i5. So that's just it. So if they ask you what kind of laptop you're using, tell them it's Core i5. So that settles that. So if we have downloaded and installed, we can actually move straight to So when you get here, you see, oh, Mr. Chukuno, so we are actually looking at spoofing tools. Spoofing tools. So we are downloading Wi-Fi. We are downloading Wireshark, sniffing and spoofing tools. So we are looking at sniffing and spoofing tools. So you download Wireshark. So if you are using the 64 bits, if you are using Core i5 and Core i6, So if you have gotten to this place, please let me know. You've powered up the Wireshark. Just let me know. Sorry, excuse me. So if you powered up the Wireshark, let me know. So we are downloading Wireshark so we can look at. Now, obviously, what you will see running, you see your VMware. If you powered up, please power up your VMware. You see it. Once you see anything moving in this sinusoidal form, that means there is a traffic. Now, there is a loop back traffic capture. I hope you understand, you know your loop back. 127.0.0.1. That is your loop back address. If you want to see that, you can come here to CMD, command prompt. Now, we all know netstart -ANO. So this shows you every that is connected currently to your, you'll be seeing loopback. Now, for those who are asking how many ports we have, let me try to expand this so that you can see it. Now, you can see 49,600 and these are ports now. Now, somebody, Mr. Solomon, you asked the question yesterday, is it only port 80 that connects to the internet? Now, all these places you see 443. Now, you see established. Now, the ones that are established are loopback address. I don't know if you guys are looking in this direction, please. Are you guys looking in this direction? I just want to explain something briefly. Now, all these ones that are established. Oh, sorry. Sorry, please. Let me chill for the next 10 minutes so that everybody will have installed the system. So let me just take a break for 10 minutes, please. I'm coming. We can run this training till 10 p.m. today so that we'll make up for lost time. So, okay, all right. Is everybody ready now? Please, if you are ready, just type here. Sorry, I had to just step out to get something so that you guys can download your softwares. It's still installing, but it doesn't take that long. That means your RAM size is maybe, well, most of my documents are in this other laptop, so I just use this one for training purpose. Okay, but actually there is Wireshark here on Kali. I just don't want us to use it because of internet issues. So I wanted you to. So this Wireshark, there's Wireshark on Kali. But as you can see, the interface on this is different from the interface on this. And you can see there are other interfaces on this. That's why actually I wanted us to use this, because this will automatically install a loop back. It will install a loop back on your system. So while you are installing, you look at, please just look at this screen here for those who can still see me. You notice that these things are sinusoidal. That means there is traffic passing through it. So if you click on any of them, automatically it will start. You click on it and you press play. So you see, it will be showing you as the packets are moving from one place to the other. Now, I really try to do, because we'll be looking, at the point in time, we'll be looking at app spoofing. That's one of the things you will do in your Python project. So the app you are spoofing, these are the packets. You understand what it's actually, you know, I'm trying to actually not go so deep in this spot. I don't know if I've shown you people this. Did I show you this? You put this on our website? Because humans just make people. Now, this is what is being done currently from the headquarters. We now have an academy. Now, if you look at your academy very well, normally you are supposed in Singapore, this is where they stop. So with this, you can get a job and start from here. So if you can see my screen, please just tell me yes, I can see your screen, so that you can get it clearly. With this, you can stop here and actually get a job. This is what they do. And I think the cost of this is about 2,000 something. I don't. So with this now, but in our own bootcamp here, we have to actually train you up till this point. Now you are seeing cyber warfare, you are seeing Python malware analysis, you are seeing offensive Python. They are level 5 courses. Now in level 4, you are seeing threat hunting, you are seeing network security. Now in level 3, sorry, 1 minute, please. Choose the third one. Choose the third one. Choose the third one. So in level 4, in level 3, now in level 2, now what you are doing currently is what the level 1 courses is, because I don't want you to go back and waste time. So you see, I got angry today when somebody called me from the journalism. I don't know what they say they are saying. So we are trying to make sure you avoid coming at the simulator to repeat this. So you just start from here and you're able to take up to level 5 in one stretch. With the little amount of money you go far. You understand? Ideally, the company policy is that you take 1 to 3, you stop at this. You can see the color is different. Then when you start making money, you come back and actually take other levels. So we don't know how long they'll give us that liberty to run this model, but that is the model currently. So that's it. So I hope we take advantage of this opportunity and use it very well. So back to this place. Now, if you want to filter packets, as you can see, you'll be taught protocol. Now, when you look at protocol, depending on what, if you go back to that video, if you filter TCP, it will be showing you only what? What is the full meaning of TCP? What is the full meaning of TCP, please? What is the full meaning of TCP? Okay, transmission control protocol. Now, what is it used for? So let's do something. Let's do something. Come back to your Wireshark. So what does DNS do? What does DNS do? What does DNS do? What is DHCP doing? What is the meaning of DNS? Like I said, we are not in a networking class. That's why you see I didn't take all this stuff. You understand? So if we have to that's domain name service. Now, when you talk about get host by name, what is dynamic host configuration protocol? Because you'll be using this thing in network research and network. So what is dynamic host configuration protocol? Is your Mr. Solomon, is your this thing on? Is your Kali? Is your Kali on? Can you do any activity like ping a website on your Kali so that it will be sending and receiving packets or already? Because from what I'm seeing here, nothing is actually happening on any of your system. That is why you see the lines are all straight. If something is happening, it will actually be moving like this. If it's sending, you see the way these are sinusoidal. It shows that, sorry. when you capture this, this one shows you that the Wi-Fi is actually getting all these things you see here. All these things, they are all carrying what? They are sending and receiving packets. And you know, you are talking about waves, so they move in sinusoidal format. So if it's in a straight line, that means there's no sending and receiving of packets yet. Can you create an activity on your sorry? So things like this DHCP are things you should go and read on your own. That dynamic host configuration protocol. So ICMP, that's ICMP, that's your ping. So you'll be looking at all these things in deeper when it comes to what network research. But what we want to just show you here is this tool. And if you can remember our video, now when you are treating an execution file, now you want to actually, if that's why it's good you actually understand. Now, if I click on my VMware 8, it takes me here. Now you can click on the green, it starts to, no, sorry, cancel. So as you can see, there is a lot of, so if I want to see ICMP only, you can filter what you want to see. So it's showing me ICMP only. Now, what's the ICMP coming from and where is it going to? Is because currently I am pinging what? Google. And Google is what? 216.58.233.228. So if you come here, you see it 216.58.223. So it's receiving and sending, replying, requesting and sending packets. So can you do that so that you can actually trace what is feasible? Ping an IP on your this thing. Come and track the packets here. So it's showing you the amount of pings that you've done currently underneath. So this is my own system IP address. That's where I am pinging. So can you do something like that and just share with me? At least that shows that then further applications can be taught in more advanced classes.
If I can please, can you repeat the process right from pinging of Google?
Okay, let's stop this. Let me stop this. Now let me close this. Now, let me Control C. First, come to your Kali Linux, ping www.google.com. Just leave it there, let it be pinging. Now go to your Wireshark. Bring up your Wireshark. Now, whatsoever terminal you see it will start moving because there is sending and receiving of packets. Are you getting it? So there is sending and receiving of packets. So it will start moving. Now, all you need to do is click on any of the VMware network address, VMware network adapter. I have two, but I can click on any one. Once I click on it, it starts showing. Now, which particular protocol is in charge of pinging? That's why I started talking about protocol. It's what? ICMP. Now, when you are talking about connection between two systems, that is actually when you're talking about control TCP. Now, what DHCP does is what? Dynamic host configuration protocol. It allocates what? IP automatically. We are now moving into a network class. This is not a network class. What now? Normally, when you are setting up an IP, you have to manually give each system an IP. But immediately you actually log on to the internet, you don't configure your IP. Something dynamically gives it IP configuration. That is the job of dynamic host configuration protocol. You notice that the IP you used yesterday, sometimes it leases the IP out to you. So when you go here, let me teach you a little bit network. You type IP config on your CMD. It shows you understand everything you understand. So if I want to release renew, release, all those, these are all you can do with your IP config. So all these commands are under MCSC. So when you come back here to your this thing, now we said we want to see, now at this place, this particular terminal here, you can filter what you want to see. This place, you can filter what you want to see here. So this place I wrote 1, you can come and write your what? Dynamic host configuration protocol. So now the activity going on currently is what? Is what? Pinging. So the protocol in charge of it is what? ICMP. Now, if you want to track what and what is pinging, you can just come here and filter ICMP. When you click on ICMP, you see it will only be showing you what? It will only be showing you what? ICMP. Are you sure? On your Kali Linux, can you snap? Can you do a screenshot, Mr. Chukwunonso? Can you send me? Can you send me a screenshot? So when you filter ICMP, it starts giving you this. So it will be showing, because it's a continuous ping, it will be showing you how the packet. Now, the IP address, all you'll be seeing is your what? IP address. So you are seeing the communication between your system and the website. Please, if everybody has gotten here, just let me know. Mr. Chukwunonso, so I'm still waiting for the screenshot. So please do something like this and send to me and put on the platform. Okay, that shows some. I think somebody. 1 minute. Okay, can you come back to Kali Home first? Can you come back to Kali Home? Do you know how to find your, because you came back to the bin file? Can you come back to Kali Home first? Don't ping from that place. Can you come back to Kali Home? That place you are, if you ls, you see that you'll be seeing the system file. Can you come back to Kali Home where you have their tilde? Do you know how to get there? Change directory /home/Kali. So type this command, change directory forward, maybe just type change directory, come back to Kali Home. Then ping from there. It's the directory you have. That's why you're having problem. No, it's not a DNS issue. Okay, ping. Because I am where you are, I'm actually getting reply. Okay, Mr. Chukunon, so have you connected your system back to internet? That might be that might be, you know, when you come back to this thing, when you are sure you did not backdate your system. That might be one of the reasons you do not backdate your system, because if you backdate your system, it's no longer connected to internet. It will not be able to ping. If you backdate your system to log in into Kali, it will not be able to ping until you change your ID, the date back. Then change the date back. Change the date back. That is why you're having issues. Change the date back to today's date, this right time. That is why you are having issues. So you should not be having problems after that. So Mrs. Grace, are you here? I've not seen your work today. She's not here. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, did anybody ask any question? So Mrs. Temitope, when they say app spoofing, that is the what we call man in the middle. Now, somebody actually comes to act as if is the main router or system. So he takes and spoof the MAC address of the router. Maybe he does it every 1 second. So instead of you communicating with the router, your system is communicating with it. It's taking all the necessary information and actually using it. So that's what they call the man in the middle. So they call it app spoofing. So you will write that code before you inject. You see, you write that code and you inject it on system and you see the way it works. So I believe, Mr. Chukunon, so I believe you don't have any problem anymore. Okay, if you want to filter ICMP, I think I've explained that. I don't know, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Mr. Gbolan, can you see my screen? So you see this part. This part that I actually mark, you see, apply display filter. So you come here and type the protocol you want to. Oh, you actually know, you actually repeating, you are making the process complicated, because if your this thing will not work. Your VMware will not work. You have to backdate your VMware. Okay, please, can you look at my screen so that I'll repeat the process? Mr. Chukunon Soazike, please, can you look at the screen now? Now, I want to close this particular VMware. Now, when I come here, this Windows D, this is my VMware. If I power it on, because it's today's date, you see, to tell me your evaluation period has ended. Now you come here, you just type change date. If you take it back to February, power on, you see it will just power on immediately because I've backdated. No. You wait for it to finish loading, booting up, log in. Once you log in, all you do is just change back to the present date, current date. That's all you need to do. So that point, you do not need to restart the VMware. All you need to do is to change back to the current date. Sorry, excuse me. Yes. Or you have or you want to extract a VMware license for us. So once you log in, you already logged in, you just come here, you just change date. So that you can connect to internet, because at this rate, your internet will not be working on your system. You just come back to your present date. That's all you need to do. So let's see your former problem. Like at this date now, I might log you all out. So if I ping, it will give me the same error. Okay, but after a while, I'm sure it will give me. Let me Control C. Oh, it's pinging here. So I think that should be the challenge you are having. But normally you just change date straight back to April. So, Mr. Bolam, back to your question. You said, how do we filter what ICMP? So all you just need to do is that place I say apply a display filter. You just come there, type ICMP. Then two options will come up. ICMP version 6. You can choose the first one. Just do what? Click enter. All the protocol will change to ICMP. Have you seen it, Mr. Bolan? So I believe we all can do this. This is where we stop for this tool. We will now look at another tool called Bob Suit. Are you having a problem logging in, Mr. Olufisayo? Mr. Chukunonso, Mr. Chukunonso, can you ping 127.0001? Mr. Chukunonso. So that you can find out if... Hello?
Yes, I'm trying to do that now.
So that you can find out if your network, your own network stuff is having issues. So that's the first thing you do. Control C, ping 127.0.0.1. So it should be giving you a feedback. That's your own
Yes,
loopback.
yes, it is.
It's giving you a feedback. That means it's working. Then Control C. When you ping, okay, can you do IF config? Let's do some little, do ping IF config.
IF config. Okay.
Now, what is your what is your default gateway? What is your IP address? What is your IP address? What is your IP address? What I mean is this: ping. This is my own IP address: 192.168.249.1. Now, this is my default gateway. Are you getting it? Now, if you can get the default gateway, there's no problem. Now, if the default gateway is not working, that means uninstall that this thing. What do they call it? Wireshark. You chose the wrong option, so it's blocking your pinging out of the network. Maybe you chose NAT. So uninstall it. In that option, when you are installing your Nmap, choose the number 3.
Okay, I actually selected the second one.
That is why you are having problem. Choose the number 3. Uninstall and choose the number 3.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll be looking at this tool. We'll be looking at this tool called Bob Suit. So I'll show you here. So it's another tool. You can load it from your system. You use this one very well when you get to the training. Now it's a very comprehensive tool. You can come here and actually, but it's a paid tool. So let me go to Google. So you can go to Bob Suit Community Edition. So you can download a free one from there. So you can enter your email. I click download. So it's downloaded. So when I tell you, you need to actually have, so it should be downloading now. So it has started downloading. It's 222 MB. So when I tell you, you need a lot of internet. So that's Bob Suit. So it is used a lot for what? Web app and our penetration testing is a penetration testing tool. So it's good to just have it. We can look at one or two things in it, then we close it there. So at least I've shown you how to install Wireshark and how to filter out some parts. So we can look at one or two things in that. Then we look at them. We move on to other stuff. So you can download Bob Suit too.
My own Bob suit is requesting for a login details. I don't know how to
Sorry,
go by. I said my own Bob suit is requesting for a login details.
did you download the community version?
I wasn't seeing that. I've not seen that.
Okay, let me repeat the process one more time. www.google.com. Now download Bob Suit Community Edition, not Pro. Community Edition. So it's the website should be port. Let me just paste the website here. So I've not installed this one too, though. I know it's a paid tool. It's not a free tool. So that's why I just feel the community edition should be free. Paste. So anything community is free. So that is actually the website. You can click on it and go and download from there. So it has a lot of functionalities which will be taught. Now you can still access it through you can go back, you can use your Metasploit table. So I think we'll be looking at, I hope you guys still have your Metasploit table. You can still use it to do spoofing. You can listen to HTTP history. You can use it to filter out HTTP history. So I hope you understand what this spoofing and sniffing is all about. Sorry, can you mute Mr. Chukuno? So can you mute your? Okay, this HTTP sniffing and sniffing and spoofing. I hope we all understand what it is all about now. I'm not seeing Miss Grace here. So the HTTP, sorry, sniffing and spoofing. So I hope we are all seeing. So the Bob suit. Now let's see it here. So if you've downloaded your own, just let me know. Mine has finished. I think that's the best way to do it. Let me download it in your presence, so that as I'm installing, you are looking at it. So this particular tool is strictly used for penetration testing. So these are all the tools you will use for what penetration testing. Open file. It's installing. So that's why I said don't use the one on the Kali Linux. Always download from the internet. So Bob suit is up and ready. Oh, sorry about that. Normally it's more easier when we are downloading in the class so that you can see what I am doing. I think we'll have to look at this. So let's just install today. And when we come the next time, we look at, we'll just do want to play around it. So just install and install, because we have to create a file, choose a file, create a file for it. So we'll do that the next time we come, or sometimes today is Wednesday, right? Okay, we do it on Friday. So there are some configurations you have to load. So let's get to that part. So this community edition, you don't need to, although it has limited features, you don't need a license for it. So I think the other thing we should look at today, it's sorry, let me just backdate this. The Metasploit table. So you can bring one up. Okay. We are not using Mrs. Temitope, we're not using the Metasploit table to them, the Bob suit today. You'll be using it for a project sometimes next the next class. But today let's look at the Metasploit table. Bring up your Metasploit table. You should have that up and running. Sorry, I don't know why the light is just coming up and off. Please power up your Metasploit table, then go to your Mr. Chukunon, so are you still having a problem? That's so funny. Okay, let's actually handle your issue after the training. Let's handle it one by one after the training. Let's move on to just power on your Metasploit Linux stuff. Power on your Metasploit table, then go to Can you update DB first? Update your DB, because if you're having a problem pinging, then update DB. Wait up. or app install ping, app install DNS. So if I come here, so that's it. So when you click on this, it should bring you to this place. So normally this is where you upload the file to the Bob suit. So the tools, they all work together. So I think we'll look at just one or two examples, then we'll actually move on from there. So so I think that's about all we'll look at on Friday. We'll practicalize one or two examples. So let's take a look at some password cracking tools. So if you come back here, sorry, Mr. Chukunonso. Let's take John. So I will just actually explain. We'll not do anything with it until we get to that part. So Hello, please. Oh, I think I've lost you people. Hello, please. Am I still online with you people? Am I still online? Okay, because I thought I've lost you people. Okay, we'll be looking at John. So I don't have the command to actually. So normally, you start with. So this actually how you use it. So it comes with password files. So this is actually how you use it. Sudo John. Then it has to have its own password file. So we'll get to that place in the lecture where, so this particular part of the training is to show you different tools before we now move to batch file and advanced batch command. So most of the things you did not treat, like this particular, I don't even have the script here. That that's your batch file is a nested if statement. So you look at it in detail so that by the time you finish that batch script, you should be able to actually run the script. So what we are trying to achieve, I'll repeat again, is to ensure that this part of the training, you don't go back to it again so that you can properly maximize this part. So you only start from what, level 2 down to level 5. So this is the certificate you receive, and this is the trophy you receive anytime you complete the simulators. So let's leave that out for now. So I think we've looked at 4 different tools today. So that I think from now to next week, we should have rounded up the tools. Then we'll now take batch script. Take batch script, then advance batch command. That's where the Linux class ends. So comprehensively, you've been able to actually look at. So in the sorry, in the advanced batch command, you'll be looking at different advanced tools. Insights to what we did not do. Sorry, excuse me, please. I don't know why I'm calling this. Okay, I think that's where we'll call it a stop for here today. So we've been able to look at Wireshark. We've installed Bob Suit. We do some other stuff, but we do an activity with both of them. First thing when we come on Friday, then we'll look at some other tools. I'll pause here if you have any questions. So what we've treated today is what? Spoofing. Then we looked at John, but I can't implement John here. It's beyond the scope of this particular course. Now, we looked at spoofing and sniffing tools. Then we looked at Bob Suits. We looked at sorry. That's basically what we've been able to do today. I don't know why I'm having this cold. Okay. I think what I would do today, a lot of people have been asking for the video replay. Mr. Olu. Okay, that's a bit of a challenge. Okay, Mr. Oluwashola, if you have the video, is it okay with you? Because this particular part is fundamental to your growth. As you can see, they are level 1 courses. Okay, all right. But you can access the training. You're not having a problem. Let me just chat you. Okay, sniffing and spoofing, you're actually looking at how those packets communicate with each other. Now, as you can see, it has stopped because I've stopped the pinging. Now, if you actually detect a particular packet, now maybe it's a what? An execution. Okay, all right, Mr. Oluwashola, I've had you. Now, maybe the stuff is an execution packet. One, you want to see and trace where it is pointing to. You can use this to. That's why when you execute it, you can just filter TCP. As it's playing, you just, this is what? Capture what? TCP. You can just capture a particular screen that you want to capture. Are you seeing? Now, it shows you where that particular script is pointing to. If you go back to watch this, our video, scenario video, they use this to actually capture screen. Now, you want to see what happens between the acknowledgement. Now, I'm sure you all can see. Now, in ICMP, you are just seeing pinging. Now, but when you look at TCP packets, you see actually that there is an acknowledgement, a three-way handshake. Sorry. And it's in a three-way handshake, you understand how packets actually exchange informations. Now, it's in this particular sniffing and spoofing, you can sniff out somebody who is acting what? Like a man in the middle. Although you can actually come here and actually do some commands, which we'll look at later using your ARP. command, it shows you your how will I put it? Your app table. So you use it to actually get actual information of packet exchange. So you sniff out. All right, that's fine, Mr. Oluwashola. So you sniff out the packets, and it's actually more easier that way. So I don't know if I've answered your question, Mr. Solomon. So please, which other question do we have pending so that we can actually look into it? Which other packets, which other questions, please? No, we'll treat the assignments tomorrow. This actually, I've received all, but we'll treat it tomorrow in the Python class. That is why I did not mention it. The two classes are different. Any other person with question, please, should answer. All right, in the absence of no question, I think we'll continue tomorrow in the Python class. So we've been able to look at different tools. Different tools all through this particular time. We're looking at different tools. So it's a combination of tools, mastery of the commands, which the tools expose you to different aspects of the training. As you can see from here, it's as you're moving through all this training, you'll be using all those tools. Each of these training have their own tools and different commands. So we get to see you guys tomorrow by 7:30. Thank you.